Hey guys, so what's going on? I decided to make a video. I am watching Anderson Cooper. I feel a little bit better. I took some of this Vapor Rub the cream, the greaseless formula, and I rubbed it on my chest so I can breathe a little bit better. My son is taking a nap. The parrot is just making noise because he feels like it. And I'm watching an interesting episode of Anderson Cooper with Jen Jackson, and pretty good show so far. I just felt like making a video. I don't know, it just came over me. I want to discuss something that I originally thought was something that, well, actually thought it was just something that I was only dealing with, and it's called hidradenitis suppurativa. So if you're really interested, you can Google it. Hidradenitis suppurativa, suppurativa. So it's pretty much, in layman's terms, it's boils, and it affects people in the underarm, their private areas, and you can pretty much treat it as a pimple to get rid of it. That's how I used to treat it, and I didn't even know about this name until a few months ago. I was in a Facebook group, and somebody told me about it, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, that's what I have." Um, at first I was calling them fat cysts, I guess. I had them when I was in puberty. That's when it started coming. So I just felt weird. Never really spoke to anybody about it. And one time, okay, I was like, I'm at the doctor. I was probably maybe 20 at the time. And mind you, this has been happening since I was 11. So she was like, "Oh, that's a fat cyst." I was like, "So will losing weight make it go away?" She said yes. So, and that was the last time I spoke about it with a doctor. Well, not the last time, the first time. So I realized after pregnancy, it came worse and more painful, and it started appearing in different places. Well, specifically on my chest, like they just come. So my boobs look like a wreck. What it looks like is, just imagine a pimple, or okay, for example, I had the chicken pox maybe 3, 4 years ago for the first time, and they left little black marks. You have to understand, I'm a person of color, so you know, when black people get scars and stuff, ours is really dark. And when white people get scars, there's just more pink. So I feel that, their scars kind of don't look as bad, but pretty much when I had the chicken pox, it left like black marks, because that's just how I scar. So that's pretty much how my chest area looks. And it wouldn't necessarily be painful, but it will pop up. So I find it fascinating. I was on Wikipedia maybe a few days ago because I posted talking about this specific thing on Vertical Sleeve. Because like I said, it's only until then, a few days ago, that I realized it's not a fat person problem. Like I said, for a while I thought it was just me alone in the world. But it's so fascinating because it's really comforting when you search something and you find out some other people are going through the same thing, or there's different tons of same Google responses from the same question, because you think your question might be weird, or but there's other people that is going through it. So I found it out on Wikipedia, because the first time I read about it, I think it was like WebMD, or I think it was Mayo Clinic. It was MayoClinic.com. So pretty much it comes on near, women's monthlies or stress related, but for me it's more hormonal, aka period or whatever. So anyway, I put it on verticalsleevetalk.com and got a few responses, but it's something that losing weight will help it to alleviate it, but it's not the cure. So really, technically, really and truly, anyone could get it. And I knew that from a few months ago, but I thought at the time, no, at the time reading it, at the time, I think after reading it, I realized a few months ago that it was not just big people. However, I thought that once you did lose weight, it would go away. But after reading some more, it just helps the problem. So it kind of makes me feel better to know, because I know when I was 192, I was I was looking kind of right. Uh, to the average person, I guess I would look average. You know, I wouldn't look big enough to, I guess, be wearing plus size clothing. I was told that by somebody in a plus size store. So it's just like at that weight, they rarely came. And I noticed that now that I'm a vegetarian, they don't come as often and as painful. So like I said, there's, prior to being a vegetarian, I was eating chicken. I wasn't eating organic chicken. So it was like, okay, there's hormones and all kinds of stuff in like the regular, key food, um, chicken. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, just in case, you think that you're going through something alone, or something you think, like I said, you're going through something alone, or you think you're the only person with something. Just know that there's somebody probably going through the same thing. So seek comfort in that. But this bird is distracting me. Like, he has food and water. There's no reason to be yelling at me. But yeah, so that was my issue. I just was like, oh, I wonder if there's anybody out there. But pretty much, like I said, it's called hidradenitis suppurativa. And there's pictures. And I guess I'm fortunate enough to say that mine's isn't. Every time I Google pictures on Google, you'll see like the most extreme of something. But I'm fortunate enough to say my case isn't as like strong, or not as bad as the pictures on Google. But yeah, because when I went to the doctor a few months ago, they was thinking about lancing it. They was like, do you want it, removed and blase blase, but that's not something where it won't come back if you do that. So they're cutting off your skin, cutting you open, and it can still come back. I'm like, you know what? Let me lose my weight first, and let me see how it is right now. The last time I had one that was really bothering me was maybe, I'll say January 6th. Sometimes I feel them coming, and sometimes when I feel it coming, it's kind of like it has its choice to either really get bigger or not. And the one that I felt recently, it didn't come up. If you understand what I'm saying, it's kind of like a pimple, So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. And for anybody who, just was like, you just don't know, because like I said, I've been Googling this. I couldn't find a name. I was calling it cysts, boils. I mean, really and truly, it's a boil, but I didn't know. I really didn't know. And like I said, very fortunate to have found that group and to get that information so I can read up on it. But there really isn't anything that will get rid of it. They just tell you warm compress. You can take antibiotics to not get it infected, because when it's infected, that's when you get the smell and the pain, because it erupts, and it's like, you get pus coming out of it, whatever. But and it sucks because it's I think it's considered a condition, or a skin condition, or something like that. It has nothing to do with hygiene, you know. It's just something that just happens. It can be from friction, like if it's in uh your underarms, you know. Some some people say it's, could be the deodorant, or some people, I guess it's 50-50. The jury is still out on that. So my video is going to cut short, but check it out, and I hope you have a good day.